Hello, everybody, and welcome to KTX Watches Another Movie. I'm Colby, joined here by Blake.
Me.
And Ashley.
Hello.
And what did we watch today, Blake?
We just watched Madam Web, brought to you by the Sony PlayStation Portable.
Yay.
Wow. People don't know, this is when we give our plot breakdown and review of the latest movie we've seen. But before we get into any spoilers, we're gonna do our spoiler-free one-sentence review.
You know, I'm gonna change it up a bit. One word review.
Okay.
In the spirit of Madam Web.
Okay. Hyphens allowed?
No.
Yeah, all
It's a
right.
lot of pressure.
All right, one word, Blake, go.
Webby.
Ashley.
Fuck. Okay. Interesting.
Arachnid.
All right.
Very good.
Descriptive.
That's it. That's our
That's
one word
it.
review of this movie. All right, we're
Never
gonna go
make it
right
easy.
into the plot breakdown of Madam Web.
Kobe, do you remember this movie?
You know what? I think I'm gonna try my best. All right.
It starts in Peru.
Yeah. So we start in Peru, where we follow lady with the. I can only look at the little mole on her face.
Who?
It's like,
The mother?
yeah, mother.
Mother Web?
Yeah, and Castro. What's his name?
Ezekiel?
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
I love that name. Ezekiel's such
Mm.
a badass name. It's like not a name I would ever give a real person.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, you know. But anyway, so, what's her name? Peru.
Mother Web.
I thought it was it not Genevieve?
You say Mother Web?
Yeah, that's what I call her when
That's
like
really
2
funny.
seconds ago.
So Mother Web,
Yeah.
is looking for this rare Peruvian puff spider
Yeah.
that can cure any illness,
Mm.
and she's pregnant. So they're in a riverbed in New Hampshire, from what I can look at.
Yeah,
And,
as far as we know.
and Ezekiel's like Clayton, the body.
Yeah.
That's 100% what this
Uh-huh.
is.
It's Constance.
Her name's Constance.
Constance. I don't know where I got
Constant
Genevieve.
pain in my ass. So
I prefer Mother.
Mother Constance. So she's like, I'm looking for this spider, and he's just like, you'll never find it, yeah, whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna go back to camp for some reason. Goes to camp and he's like rifling through her stuff. She comes back saying, I found it! Oh my god!
What are the odds?
Look at the CG spider! So as soon as the second
Yeah.
she shows up, everyone's like, wow! And Clayton go,
He didn't even take the time to like verify it.
no, he really did. She could have just like had like one of the stick bug,
Yeah.
you know. But
Did
no,
you mention that she's about to pop?
I was gonna get to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Somebody popped, all right. Ezekiel kills everybody to take the spider, and Constantine gets shot.
In
She
the
falls
struggle.
In the struggle for the spider.
He didn't want to do it. You just hand me the spider,
Yeah,
and you'll be unharmed.
Yeah, I guess he
maybe.
really didn't want to do it. Anyway, but then that's the trees moving.
Yeah.
As something's coming, and Ezekiel gets away, runs away, and the spider people,
The Cullen clan.
the Cullen clan show up. These people dressed in like vines that looked a little familiar, and they pick up Constance and bring her to their healing water.
So, what Ashley kind of just hinted at, their movements in the trees were very Twilight-like.
That's just what it reminded
Yeah.
me of.
I agree. 100% I agree.
Yeah.
You have this wonderful sequence
Yeah.
of him jumping through the trees holding her. I thought it looked great. And
I mean, it just reminded me of kind of like the dorky way that they ran, and especially in like the first movie. Yeah.
like, it looks like, you know, like the background's moving like too fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're not
that's
moving
kind of like
fast
that
enough.
Yeah.
practical effect that's really
Yeah.
wonky looking.
Like they should be on wires, but they didn't want to like spend the money on wires. So they bring her back to the healing pool, and she ain't gonna make it. They make a fancy spider biter, and it turns out, you know, she's pregnant, and she was just about due, so she gives birth inside of the Cave of Wonders.
You know what that cave reminded me of?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember was it Age of Ultron?
Yeah,
like
when
Thor like
Thor-
went into that water pool for no reason.
Well, it's the same one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
All
New
right.
Hampshire or whatever.
All right. He was like, "Oh, I got to see the stones." That's my Thor.
Remember how that didn't amount to like anything?
Yeah. Anyway,
So
she's dead.
yeah, the Mother Peru,
Yeah.
she's dead,
I don't know where they put her, but
and somehow the leader of the spider people is like, the baby will be back.
this was in 1973, by the way.
Oh yeah, very important because, oh yeah,
Well, I was just gonna say, I assume that she was able to have like a healthy baby just because she got bit as she was giving birth.
correct. Yeah, that's what. It's
But
like,
we don't know. We don't know things yet
Sure.
Yeah,
about the status of the baby
Sure.
at the time. Hint.
Right.
So 30 years pass. Jump cut.
We're in 2003.
2003.
Good year.
Good
year.
A good year.
Ooh.
Fine vintage.
Yeah.
And we find Cassidy? Cassidy?
Cassie.
Cassie. That was it.
That was Cassandra.
Which is Cassie.
Cassie.
All right.
So we see Cassie driving the ambulance with her partner Ben, as they're both paramedics.
Yeah.
Helping someone out. And we are greeted with amazing acting from our lead actress. I was floored. I was really invested.
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she really crushed it.
So
Yeah, I like Dakota.
I've never seen any other movies that Dakota Johnson's in.
You mean you haven't seen 50 Shades of Grey?
Oh,
No.
was she in that?
Oh yeah, that was
She's
her,
like the lead,
her
right?
career-breaking moment. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, I was trying to be
breaking
facetious.
making.
I was being a little facetious there if it wasn't on it. I thought she was horrible.
Oh really? I mean, I like her
I
generally.
thought she was
yes.
pretty poopy too.
Yeah.
I thought that's something when Blake thinks that.
Well, I was gonna say
Dang.
I haven't seen a movie of hers. Is she this like dry and like uninterested in every film?
Yeah, she's like out of the way. Yeah, you wish. Stop that,
Well, okay. I know that we're skipping ahead.
NPC
dude. That's actually a good point. Very strong NPC behavior.
vibes.
I do want to say that. Okay, like I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, but there is a scene where she's driving. I think it's like she's driving the taxi cab and they're
Yeah.
running away.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like laughing because she's driving the car and she's not looking at the street at all. Like driving in downtown Manhattan, just not
Yeah,
at all.
I think she might be a great actress. I don't know.
I mean, I haven't seen like a lot of things. I like her as like a person. Yeah.
I did.
I'm sure she's a great person.
She's mostly iconic, like to me, because she's kind of responsible for rooting or at least having the Ellen show canceled.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
good for
you
her.
guys don't know about that?
No,
Really?
No, I don't.
Oh, she's momentous in that. Yeah.
I remember. Didn't she call her out on the show?
Yeah,
I remember
she
that.
was
Yeah.
on the Ellen show. Ellen was like, "How was your birthday party? I wasn't invited." And she was like, "Actually, Ellen, that's not true. You were invited." And she was like, "Oh, was I? Oh, where was I then?" I was like, "I don't know. You tell me." Yeah. So.
Tough.
Yeah.
wrecked,
and then
Ellen.
and then after
bitch.
that episode aired, basically all these people started coming up and saying how shitty of a person Ellen is, how terrible of a boss she is.
Damn.
And yeah, that was it. That was the end of her career.
There goes our Ellen sponsor.
So that is why I like Dakota Johnson. Thank you, Queen.
All right.
Thank you, Dakota.
I think she did great in this movie.
But yeah. Anyway, so they're driving along. She almost hits a pedestrian, and the pedestrian flips her off. Oh my god.
We'll never see her again.
Never again. And then they arrive back to the hospital, and the person they saved, the family comes up, and our main character Cassie's really awkward around people.
Yeah.
And we see there's like a little girl, a teenage girl who's like awkward as well.
We won't see her again.
We won't see her again. And then we cut to Ben and Cassie having Chinese food.
Well, before we get there, let's go back a scene. Let's digest that. How do you feel about her being weirded out that the kid would give the paramedic that saved his mother's life a little present?
It was kind of
And
weird.
she's just like, I don't know what to do with this.
Well, yeah, I was like,
It's like, that's fucking rude.
I was like Ben.
That's rude, buddy.
Ben had the right. He was like,
Yeah.
He was like, it was almost like the actor being like, just take the fucking paper and then throw it away after.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like just stop being. What do you? You're not a human being right now. Stop.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam Scott.
Like I think I guess that's like trying to like show that she's like an awkward person, but like that was rude.
There's awkward.
That was rude.
There's awkward, and then there's like, you're trying to like
just not like socially considerate. I don't know.
Right. I think what doesn't help too is that like she's never like that with any other character in the entire movie. Like she speaks to Ben just fine. You could argue, oh, they're close, whatever. But when they're at the party, she's like bantering with everyone, like no problem.
Well, she was bantering with her coworkers.
Sure.
Which
I guess
are
she was
also
awkward with
EMS, and she was awkward with the other party goers, so the women at the baby shower.
Yeah. She wasn't that level of awkward. I mean, like,
mom's
to be
dead.
fair, those women at the baby shower
I agree.
were like antagonistic.
They were.
I agree.
They were.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Dun, 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 dun. So anyway, they're having Chinese food and nothing really happens.
I think this is the scene we find out his last name.
I don't think he ever says his last name, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
You just think he's just random Ben?
No, I know who he is.
No, he
He's
says.
Mr. Parker.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
his last name gets mentioned.
It does. Okay.
And he's like, I've seen this girl. I think it's serious.
yeah. And then she's like, what's her name? And he's like, and she's like, all right.
I legally cannot say.
Yeah.
It's
Barry. It's Barry. Her name's Barry.
Yep.
So, yeah, it seems kind of whatever.
Yeah. What happens next, Kobe?
Oh man, what happens next?
I think we get shown Ezekiel, and he rendezvous with that random person from NASA.
It looks like
or whatever.
Ezekiel's back, and he's rich. You say NASA?
She was from some security-related company, which isn't NASA.
NSA?
Yeah. I was close.
No, I didn't.
NSA, NASA.
Okay.
So,
I just watched
About the
Interstellar,
actor.
all right? There's NASA in that movie.
Oh, you watching it now?
Yeah.
We did.
That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, movie's great. Matthew.
You
Solid
know-
4 out of 10.
Or obviously Matthew. He's like
Yeah.
best actor.
Such a good film.
I love that.
Here I said.
What?
Said solid 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I know. See, like
Hell, what the hell's wrong
I'm
with you?
kidding. It was good.
he's so underwhelmed by like the greatest
Cinema.
things. Yeah.
Pure
Exactly.
cinema.
Anyway,
Martin Scorsese.
so these two movies are very similar.
Yeah.
He saw all the possibilities in the wall.
That is not
She
Martin
sees all the
Scorsese.
possibilities. He's Madam Web.
This is the sequel Interstellar should have gotten.
I agree.
Did you say Martin Scorsese?
I did.
That's not Martin Scorsese.
I never said it.
No,
That's
the
Mr. Nolan.
The cinema line.
Okay,
Cinema.
okay, sorry.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
cinema.
Apologies.
Pure cinema.
So I think the scene oh yeah, so Ezekiel's with this random lady who we don't really know.
Yeah.
I think she's just kind of like just some floozy, and he takes her back to his place, and they do it.
He looks pretty good for being 30 years older.
Yeah. You know, probably because he's got magic venom juice in him.
Hot.
And after they do it, he's having nightmares of 3 teenage girls beating the living shit out of him and killing him.
That's hot. Some
And-
men dream for that shit.
And he wakes up and he starts telling his life story to this woman who's like, "Get me out of here!"
While she's reaching for her gun.
Yeah, but he mentions an important thing. She's like, "How are you gonna find him?" Ha ha ha. And he's like, "Facial recognition systems all over the fucking planet." And she's like, "Okay."
Direct quote.
Yeah. And he's like, "Only really important people have access to it." She's like, "Okay." And then he kills her.
No.
So he's like, "Give me the password," because she's one of the NSA agents, and
Yeah.
it's part of his big plan. So she's like, "I'll never tell you the password," and then he venoms her with his hand.
She was already venomed, and it was like,
Right,
"I'll give
yeah.
you if you give me the password, I'll give you the cure."
Yeah.
There's
And
no cure.
And she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dies.
0,
Yeah.
0, 0.
Which is really a bad plan of his, because what if she lied?
That'd be
And
unfortunate.
then he just killed her.
Oh shit, this ain't working.
Yeah, verify. You gotta verify that stuff before you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, So he gets what he needs. So he gets his lady, whose name do we ever hear?
Not important.
Thank you.
Do you mean like the
desk lady? I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amaria.
Of course.
How
Now
could we be
it's
such
all coming back
fools?
to me. Amaria is like, I'm good with computers, I guess. I'll get into every camera in the state of New York City. And so we cut back to Cassie.
Yeah. This is the baby shower scene, I think.
We got a baby shower scene where she goes to a coworker's baby shower.
And we meet Emma Roberts.
Yeah, we meet Emma Roberts.
From Unfabulous?
Yeah. She's Mary Parker.
Yeah.
And,
surprise, bitch.
yeah.
You haven't seen The Last of Me? American Horror Story? Hello? I haven't seen it. But it's a famous gif.
Solid 4 out of 10. So, the baby shower is very awkward.
Yeah.
And this is when I realized that the main character, Cassie, at least at the beginning of this movie, all of her lines, at least maybe 8 out of 10 of her lines, are complaints. She just complains and complains and complains constantly.
True.
So at that point, it does tone down later, but it like got a little grating.
She was still finding herself.
It's true. You know what? You're right. She was in a point of internal conflict, I think, still. So she's projecting that internal conflict outwards. So.
Oh, wait, did we mention she fell off a bridge?
Oh, that's a very important part.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the beginning of her visions.
Yeah.
All right, so
she
fell
died
off
for a couple minutes.
She died. We forgot that.
Yeah, there's a problem on one of the many bridges in New York. And a car is like almost about to fall off. So Ben and Cassie are like helping out this guy, and they get him out of the car, but Cassie's still in the car as it plummets into the water, and she, ooh, when you are growing.
Yeah.
And she dies for 3 minutes before Ben resuscitates her.
But she has this like acid trip while
Correct.
she's in the fucking water.
Which I actually thought looked kind of interesting.
Cool.
I was trying to into the visual of that happening.
The webbiness.
Yeah. And she, seeing weird stuff, and as she's getting treated and everything, she gets this deja vu-esque kind of repeat moment.
Yeah.
And we get our first kind of hint into what's happening. Anyway, and then the baby shower. Baby showers kind of just sets up like she doesn't have a mom and she's bummed about it, I guess, or angry about it.
And then they're like, "What are you gonna name the kid?" And she's like, "I won't tell." He.
I wonder.
Richard Jr.
Watch your step, girl.
Anyway,
she also has another vision at the baby shower, like the repeat.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say throughout the movie in the beginning, she's having these little visions. Whatever. And she's all confused and whatever. And then there's like emergency call at the docks, and so
not the docks.
There's this huge fire going on at a fireworks warehouse, I guess, and she has a vision about her coworker dying, getting hit by a truck.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah.
Final Destination.
She kind of caused.
Right.
Yeah.
But
she didn't talk to him. He would have been fine.
If
maybe.
she didn't do anything about it, it wouldn't have happened. So those visions are out to get her.
Yeah.
What was really funny, I think, about that scene is like they really lingered on he dies and she's like about like this dude who we've never seen before.
Well, he was at the baby shower. He was.
Was he the griller?
He was the griller.
I take back everything. He was
really squeezing the fat out of those.
Yeah, I'm really getting the taste out.
You're ruining it.
And now he's dead.
Now he's dead. No. And
you know what? She didn't even go to the funeral.
Yeah, she didn't go to the funeral.
Rude as hell.
She got a week off of work. Anyway.
Hell yeah, bereavement.
But she goes to a doctor, and the doctor's like, I don't know, dude, you're fine. You have trauma or something. Anyway, I'll give you like a week off and a pat on the back. And help me out.
Do you think that was a hint to like the doctor being like, there's nothing you can do, you're good, and like later on, the doctor to the mother. Is this like an underlining
that's
thread?
That's what we call a narrative, like parallel, a thread, like a thread of a
thread.
web.
Yeah, of
Dude.
like the message is like the U.S. healthcare system is filled with bums or something.
Well, the whole thing, she was that too. She was like, I'll never accept a bogus, hopeless diagnosis, and neither will my daughter. You're not a doctor, lady.
Dude, that's what happened.
Dude, I never thought of that. That's genius, actually. All these things interconnected.
Cinema.
Like a web.
Cinema.
So, hey,
she's vibing, bro.
What happened after
I think it's
the train?
The train, yeah.
Well, she's on the couch being sad. Saw a pigeon.
Oh, man.
You know,
didn't she
don't
go to
forget the pigeon.
She went to the doctor after that, though.
No.
Right?
That was before.
Was it?
No.
It's all connected.
They got a string of webs.
So, another scene happened. Whatever.
She's having more visions. She's
She saw the pigeon, then she's like, I can create my own narrative because I opened the window, and then she went to the train.
Yeah, but she doesn't have that realization. She just says,
this
is weird.
She's coming to the idea that like she's getting visions and premonitions.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm gonna go away for a while. Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna go away for a while somewhere.
Yeah.
So she goes to the train station, but Ezekiel, the fallen angel, comes over or whatever, and is like, I want to find these 3 teenagers. I've perfectly recreated them in this computer for you.
In my mind.
From my mind.
Yeah, that was insane.
Using the 2003 AI technology.
I know.
Great enhanced, like crazy. Like it's really funny because the scene before that he's in, he's like, you know how hard it is to think of somebody or find somebody just from visions, you know, or just like identify them. And then the next scene, he's perfectly identified these 3 teenagers in New York City.
Yeah.
So,
gotta
love it. It's also where, I don't know if you saw this actually, but we noticed, Blake and I think every scene that Ezekiel's in when he's in his apartment, he was ADR'd. Like, it was not him talking.
I didn't notice that. Blake told me this in the car.
It was super weird.
Dude, at one point, it was so funny because the next time we saw him in his apartment, Blake and I both at the same second darted our heads forward. We were like looking
as
to
his lips
see.
try to move.
No, I didn't notice that. But I will admit though, every scene that he's in, like his delivery was just awkward.
His microphone must have been broken or something.
It was off. Yeah.
He like, I remember one time he was like, and his like lips didn't move at all. Like he said he was like, oh, but like not crazy.
During my 4th rewatch, I'll let you know.
please, if you find it, like that's just so funny. It was very distracting. But anyway, his Amaria identifies the 3 teenagers who just happen to be in the train station as well, and Ezekiel's like, I'll take care of them, and he goes in, and they're all supposedly on the same train together right now.
So yeah, he gets on the train as Suit Man, and that's important to note. He's just in a suit.
Oh,
he's just
like
Joe
regular,
Schmo.
not suit.
Yeah.
But
this train scene leads to the biggest travesty of this entire film.
Yes, I agree.
So, Cassie, Madam Webb gets on the train.
Yep.
And some guy, some gentleman, some New Yorker.
Joe Schmo.
He's like, oh, trains, can't live with them, can't live without them.
New York City, crazy.
Yeah, he says something.
He does not say that, Blake.
And in his hand,
New York City's all kinds of crazy. That's what he says.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. In his hand, in this Sony-produced film, he had a PlayStation Portable in his hand. He was fucking playing it.
Your Honor, what's the inconsistency here?
I'm glad you asked. This film allegedly is from 2003. The PSP released in Japan in 2004 and didn't make its way to North America until 2005.
I'm impressed. Wow, you know what that's called, right?
Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
It's an anachronism.
Inaccurate.
I have an aneurysm. It's bullshit.
I'm impressed you caught that. Good
This
job,
is
Blake.
a Sony produced film,
Did
and
not
they
know but
put
to
a
notice.
Sony
Blake.
product in that didn't come out yet for another 2 years.
Blake knows his shit.
Objection, Your Honor.
What? It's fiction.
Madam Webb can see all futures. He wasn't there to begin with.
Oh, he was there 2 years later.
And that's what she was seeing.
Maybe.
It's all connected.
All right, I'll accept that as the canon.
No, but you're right. Like, that was BS.
I was pissed.
How could they get it wrong? It's their product.
It's like if Nintendo remade like The Wizard and was still set in the 90s and they had 3DSs or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Yeah. Down with this movie. Burn it. They should pay us.
Yeah.
Good
But
job for catching an anachronism.
So
everyone's on the train.
everyone's on the train.
The three girls, one of them we never mentioned, one lives at the apartments.
Yeah. And he's like, you'll get your goddamn rent when you fix this goddamn door or whatever. And so Cassie's like, ah! With her head, like, freaky stuff's happening around her. And she sees the girls get
killing them like Robocop.
murdered. Yeah. Just absolutely obliterated. And she's like, get off. I'm here. Give me your skateboard. Do my skateboard. And all of them get off the train with this psychopath. And Jabroni Ezekiel sees them leave and is like,
and he's like, run on the fucking thing.
And in like 25 seconds, like suits up in his pseudo
That's why.
Spider-Man
That's
attire.
why I brought up he's in full suit.
Yeah.
And he's still on the train. And then he appears in his fucking
Was it
uniform.
underneath?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe.
You could argue that it's underneath, and then he just puts a mask on. Just like that suit
Like
ain't
Superman.
good, you know. Like I'm sure it's whatever. Why he even has it?
You never know.
Why does he have it?
If he was willing to just murder people in his suit, what's the point?
The problem is like we don't know what he does ever. Like, why does he do it? Why does he have a suit? What is his line of work? What?
Maybe it's just like.
Why did he want the
defense.
spider? Like, what's his motivation?
He has the spider.
Like, we get his motivation in terms of like he gets visions of his death, which actually I think is like kind of a cool motivation. He sees his own death at the hands of the main characters, and and he wants to prevent it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but otherwise, it's like they thought of that and then they kind of just like didn't really care about the rest. I mean, he's kind of a pointless dude, but yeah. So he suits up and he starts beating up cops.
Yeah.
And the girls are running away.
They steal a taxi.
Yeah. 2003, you can get away with anything.
Yeah.
So Cassie just like steals a taxi, drives
Not
away.
her first, and it won't be her last vehicle
Grand Theft
theft.
Auto.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
No.
And we proceed to have this like.
This is where she's also just not looking at the road. Driving in
correct.
Manhattan.
Like you said, in the middle of Manhattan.
She just keeps turning back.
Yeah. At one point she like stops, which actually like checks out in New York. Like, people just stopping for no reason in the middle of the road while they're going. They're just kind of talking about like what's happening.
Are you kidnapping
It's
us?
just like
Are we dying?
it was just man, it's really hard to pick this apart because maybe I'm exaggerating a little. Maybe it's a bit of a hyperbole, but there's just so many things that are wrong with the dialogue and like the order and pacing of how everything goes. It's like it's almost like the movie itself is desynced, if that makes sense, with like a cohesive plot. It's like you know what they're going for. You can see like the bare skeleton of like semblance here, but it's like it didn't make it past first draft or something, because it feels like a lot of stuff is either missing or like this is the first time the actors have read the scripts.
Yeah.
And like they haven't had time to rehearse, and they just like, all right, we got like 2 takes we can do. Let's just do it. You know, like the way the characters talk is just so weird and stunted and awkward, and at least that's what I got out of it.
I know during like the press tour, Dakota said that there was like the script had a bajillion rewrites. I don't know why she'd be telling people that this movie might suck.
Knows, yeah, she's like, I don't know, man. I gotta save my own career here.
But maybe that contributes to
that kind of makes sense. Like
issue.
too many cooks
hands
in
in
the
the
kitchen.
pot.
Yeah. They don't. But that's weirdly said because it almost feels like the opposite. Like they just nobody cared about it enough to like say anything. Like Dakota's probably like, a good actress, probably. I don't know, but nobody told her to like, hey, can you like try a little harder? Like, can you just say this line again? Like again, it's like a first take. She's like reading everything. Like, all right, I'm just doing it for the pacing. All right, this is how we pace it. All right, I'm ready to do it for real now. Yeah. She's like, wait, what? Hold on, no. Let me do a second take. So yeah, she decides to take these 3 teenage girls into the middle of some forest in the middle, not Central Park, mind you, just in the middle of nowhere, somehow outside of Manhattan.
Apparently they're in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I
was curious about that too. I guess I missed that.
Because the diner is in New Jersey, and I assume they weren't too far from the diner.
So
Jersey City?
Got it. So she drives into another state and just leaves them in the forest. Like, I'll be right back.
3 hours.
You guys will be safe here.
Yeah.
All right. What was her plan? Was she drives back home so she can get her mother's notes because she heard about Spider and Venom and was reading her notes to get more.
And she saw the picture of them too.
Yeah. And why didn't she just bring them with her?
Well, because they're looking for her and the kids because they think the police were like kidnapping, look out for them, and that comes into play later.
But like they were already driving around in the taxi in the middle of Manhattan. They weren't gonna get found. She rips off the license plate of the taxi. That solves everything. She also doesn't know that the villain has, CCTV technology that can do facial recognition. And she's like, "You're the safest here. Why didn't you just take him to Ben like you did later?" Or something. Like,
She's still trying to figure it out, man.
But you just left. You really kidnapped 3 teenagers.
If you're in this, if you're in her position, you wouldn't know what to do either. You're just kind of winging it.
She also doesn't want to be held responsible for them, so I think that she's just planning to dump them later. Yeah.
Fuck it. To their death.
Fuck it.
You know what? You're right. It's a web.
It's a web.
A web of lies.
A web of deceit. So she leaves them there, gets her notes. There is one actor in this movie that I think actually pulls really hard, and it's Cat.
Yeah.
Cat, I think, is probably the best.
Stray Cat.
Best one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, who's Cat?
The cat.
Cat.
Like the cat.
Cat.
That walked in.
Oh, just Cat. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the line where she's like, "We don't belong. Looks like neither of us belong anywhere." Whatever she says when she's feeding the cat. Both of us are strays.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. A web.
I mean, I saw, so in that scene where she's like getting the notes and she's like, "Do you know who this web man is?" And she's like, "Meow." And she's like, "Yeah, I didn't think so."
No,
You were mocking that,
Dude,
but I have full blown conversations with Logan all the time. So
Colby,
I get
don't
it.
get it.
It was just the way, like her inflections. It was the fact that the cat
Very
was not
corny.
in that scene
Very
at all, or like was not. They filmed it separately.
you
They
know,
never show her the cat.
It's the kind of dialogue that's in cartoons or animations.
It's full blown exposition.
Yeah.
Like from the very. Oh man, there was a line at the beginning I remember she was saying, and it was like the most exposition type like thing ever. I think Ben said it. He was like, "I know you're just a low, like a awkward can-do attitude." He just said something about her that was just like writing 101 of you just can't write your
Yeah, it's pretty
character.
bad.
It's like a stage play. It felt like a stage play sometimes. But anyway, so where was I? She leaves them alone, gets her notes. The girls are like, do we remember all their names? Was it Julia?
Julia, Maddie, and
girl.
oh,
I couldn't tell you who's
not,
who.
Is it Anya or no?
Oh, it might have been no. I don't think it was Anya.
It was Anya.
It was Anya. Okay.
Anya Corazon.
I'm glad Sol was paying attention.
They're like, we're hungry, and I
know Taekwondo.
They're trying to. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to build the chemistry of these three girls.
Yeah.
And
for the sequel.
for the sequel.
They are trying to stipulate a little bit about their backgrounds and their home life.
Yeah. And then, did one of them look up that there was a diner nearby or something?
I don't think that she looked. I mean, it's 2003 also.
Yeah.
You can't really look on your phone like, oh, there's a diner.
I agree.
Here.
So how did she know there was like?
Maybe they passed it on the way.
Oh, maybe they
Maybe.
passed it. I would
Maybe.
say maybe they passed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So that was Maddie.
Okay. Because I was gonna say they just were like, let's go find a diner or something, and then there's a diner. And I'm like,
Well, no.
America.
No, yeah, she said that there's
2003.
one like right over there.
Yeah. So they go to this diner, and she really wants a cherry pie. And, kind of warming up to each other. Julia is like, oh my god.
I'm shy.
Yeah, at like these
I'm a good
boys
girl.
at a corner booth that are like, 2003.
We're an ambiguous age. You're an ambiguous age. What we doing here?
Dude, some of those guys look like they were like 33 or something. I don't know.
It was a little suspicious.
That was a little sus. But Cass returns and she's like, I can't believe them. I was like pissed. Like, what the? And then she's like, I'm gonna follow them, and then sees the future where she confronts them dancing on the table.
Oh, the taste of your
Yeah.
lips.
This song's gonna be a hit, everyone. 2003.
When did that song came out?
I believe it's 2000. Yeah, it was yeah.
Is that another inaccuracy?
When did that come out?
Actually, it might have been 2002.
2004.
And that was that's like the best pop song ever. So
toxic.
how dare you?
It's good. Don't fucking roll your eyes.
I don't know why.
We saw Britney.
2003. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we saw Britney.
You saw Britney?
Yeah,
we saw her concert.
Mohegan's Sun, her last, not her last concert ever, but her last tour.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Fuck you.
good for you guys.
Like
I'm glad.
2018.
Iconic. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Britney.
Everything's
God
connected,
me.
I guess, in this web. So, she confronts them, and
Is this the Vision version?
yeah.
Okay.
And then spider person, arachnid guy shows up.
Thanks, Trucker.
He just Trucker reports that girl's there because they're missing, and that's how villain finds out. And he just walks in.
Yeah.
He just walks right through the front door and like fucks up everybody, kills the girls, kills Cassie.
Yeah.
And Cassie's like, that's the Raven. Like comes back.
Yeah. Because of the
And-
steak knife.
Yeah. And she's like, I can fix him. And drives in a perilous chase scene behind of a log truck.
I was getting like Final Destination vibes. You know?
She just dies that way.
So I said this to you when we were watching.
Yeah.
My problem with that scene, because she her goal is to get around, because she's trying to get to the diner. She's racing to try to get ahead of this log truck that's going slow, I guess. But she keeps like, oh, there's another car coming,
Sure.
so she's doesn't want to die. When she eventually makes it past the truck, she immediately goes left. So she saved almost no time, because she was
Didn't she go right?
well.
She went right.
It doesn't matter what direction. The
I
point
see
is,
what you're saying. She passes him on the intersection.
Yeah.
So like, if she waited like 1 second, she wouldn't have had to take that risk.
Maybe
and
that
then-
1 second would have killed the
true.
girls.
maybe
true.
I guess,
That's true.
but I thought
Blake, what you don't understand, Blake? It's all connected.
It's all connected.
It's a web. It's a web.
it was silly.
Webs are silly. They are.
You're right.
So the dude shows up, And everyone's like, oh no. And then she's like, oh yeah, and drives the taxi right through that front door.
No one cares.
No one cares.
She can do anything she wants in this movie. She does Grand Theft Auto. She destroys public property. She kidnaps 3 girls. Like, no repercussions.
No.
She stole a
None.
skateboard.
She stole a skateboard.
Threw her cell phone out, which she didn't need to do.
That was
Yeah.
hurtful.
Yeah, she really didn't need to do that. And so she's like, get in. You guys are so irresponsible. And I looked over to Blake.
Says
and
the woman who left 3 teenagers
yes!
with minors after kidnapping them in the city and then leaving them in the woods in the middle of nowhere.
She preaching to the choir over here, like insane. How she takes the moral high ground here somehow. She's like, I can see the future. Why don't you guys believe me and trust me?
I'm gonna shun you right now. Closes the taxi window. Ugh.
And I said to Blake, I was like, it feels like mom and dad are fighting or something over here. Like, I just got really
wrong?
awkward vibes. But they go to a motel, and they're all just like,
We're
trust
orphans.
you."
We're all
Yeah.
orphans. But
Yeah.
We all have family problems. Dun-dun-dun. And I just noticed your sweater.
Oh, my Spider-Man sweater?
That's a
I
great
got a
sweater.
box
What the
lunch.
heck?
Yeah, right?
Oh,
Da-da-da-da-da.
Where's your merch, Colby?
I had the spider bite.
Oh god.
So mind you, like the powers of the villain are like he can wall climb, he can jump a bit far,
He's probably strong too.
and yeah, it seems like he's got some strength.
He's, like,
and
throwing people,
endurance.
so-
Yeah. So he's like a C-list strength, maybe D-list strength kind of guy.
Yeah.
you
You
know?
can lift someone and snap their neck.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, they go to a motel and they bond for a little bit, and then she's like, "I'll go back to."
Whoa.
Oh.
You missed what she taught them.
That was in the morning.
Go on.
So she's like, I'm gonna go. You think she's gonna abandon them for a minute, but then she's actually driving to the diner.
Did that
That's,
happen? Or was that like some Madam
No,
Web
it was
bullshit?
fake. It was fake. It was a vision. I was gonna get that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask because I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No. So this is when like her powers were like a little weird because it's like, I guess it's up to interpretation. She goes there and then she has a conversation with the villain and learns everything she needs to know about him here, like who he is, his connection with her mother, the powers, the venom, power, stuff like that. So, and then she wakes up and like, whoa. So like, was that her? Like, was she seeing alternate realities where she had this conversation with him?
I think that's what it was.
That's what I thought too. Which, like, I was actually really on board with her power in this movie. Like, I like the idea of like future sight, or like being able to see, but not so much be able to manipulate different realities. Because that's really interesting to think about. Like, that's how you can pull like really cool stuff like that, where it's like, how could she possibly ever get this information? It's like, oh, she can see into another reality where she did learn it. Like, that's really
Very,
cool.
reminds me of like the concept of everything,
Everything
everywhere all at once.
Yeah,
Bagel.
absolutely.
Where she could like see and access like different
This
branches
movie's
of reality.
just like that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like a web, man.
It's a
It's
web.
like everything, every web, all that was,
Ooh.
all that web. And she talks to the girls about how to do CPR.
Yeah.
That'll
Anyway.
come in handy later.
Although she didn't teach her chest compressions. I'm sorry, not chest compressions.
That's all she taught them. The actual.
They actually don't teach that anymore.
Oh, really?
Because it's not as effective.
How about in
but-
2003?
But in 2003, I don't know.
That's,
We were taught CPR in high school.
That's true.
And we were taught to
That's true.
do breath whatever it's called. Yeah.
Whatever. It's resuscitation.
I know, like I'm CPR trained now, and yeah, it's all compressions. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
the fuck?
So inaccuracy.
Inaccuracy.
Anachronism. I'm calling
that's
it.
2. Strike 3 and you're out, Madam Web. And then she's like, what do we do next? And Cassie's like, I have to go to Peru
Why?
to figure out my
I'll
past.
be back in a week.
And she gets
You'll be
Ben
fine.
to babysit then. And she just goes to
Yeah.
Peru. Just goes to Peru.
She finds the exact spot too.
She
In
finds
the middle of the fucking jungle.
those notes that her mom took must have been like.
He has this little tiny map too.
She had Google Earth before it was even a thing.
Yeah,
She had longitude, latitude coordinates in that. She had
Also,
like,
go on.
she had like a picture. She like as the landmark of like this random
tree.
river
Tree, yeah.
that hasn't changed
That
in
shrub looks the same.
30 years.
Yeah. She also agrees.
Yeah, Logan.
Ooh.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, well, obviously, the villain has access to like every camera. Is
Yes.
it just in New York, or is it like the world?
I don't know. Probably just New York.
Well, even if
Probably
it's just New York,
Well, actually, because the NSA probably like all the
like at
country.
least like a good portion of
yeah,
whatever.
but he's probably just focusing.
So like, she obviously went to an airport.
yes,
They have cameras there.
Yeah. I was like questioning like how was she
But
able
we didn't
to
see her going to
leave?
an airport. I
Leave the
guess.
country.
You missed a whole scene there. Like we do not have the scene that shows us how she did it.
She's on a bus. I'm in Peru.
Did like the NYPD just be like, oh well, a kidnapper's gone and those girls are still missing. Whatever.
2003, they were busy.
Yeah.
Dude, and she's dressed like for like a concert or something.
Like
Like
you said, like 9 Inch Nails.
I was like, this
Yeah.
lady looks like she's going to a 9 Inch Nails concert. Like she's just wearing like a white tank top.
The
She's,
bangs are
like, her-
holding up pretty good, I thought, for Peruvian weather.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, for
South America.
the humidity of the jungle.
Yeah.
She wasn't really sweating that
They're
much.
still like perfectly like
She's-
blow dry.
she's
and,
wearing
blow it
jeans.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You'd think she'd at least like pony up her hair.
And a flannel tied around her waist.
You
Like, you
think
really
they-
want that?
They would have put any effort in. They did the scene with her mother, you know, in real time, whatever. And then they were like, "All right, Dakota, come on in." She's like, "Oh, I haven't really gone through hair and makeup yet, and wardrobe." And they're like, lunch is in 10. Get over here."
All right.
She gets, and it's honestly, there's even more merit to that hypothesis because she turns around and dude bro who like saved her life when she was a baby and stuff, the leader of the spider people, is there in like casual clothes. Like, he just got out of Subway.
Some
Like,
cashmere, yeah.
dude, he's just like, "I knew you'd come back." I'm like, "Why aren't you in your like tribal outfit?"
Been 30 years, you know.
They're people too.
There's a gap down the street, you know.
I guess Peru really industrialized in the turn of the century. And he's like, "I'll take you to where you were born because that's where you'll get your powers."
That's weird, but all right.
Yeah, I trust you. Also, I wanted to say this before. It's really funny. Ezekiel at the very beginning of the movie, he like shoots everybody, and he like just grabs the jar with the ancestral spider, and just runs.
He got away.
He just runs.
Yeah.
These
No,
people
but no,
who can-
they said he was cursed, so that's probably why.
no, he was cursed because he took the spider.
Yeah. They're probably
Yeah.
like, he's fucked anyways.
Yeah, but they can just drop on him like and beat the shit out of him. I don't know. It's kind of funny, but I think
Let him suffer.
I guess they were just more. Why are you wet?
Oh, the fountain. Her
Yeah.
water.
Oh, okay.
She
She
dunks her head in it.
Yeah, got it.
She's-
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
So, where was I? Yeah, oh yeah. So she goes to the Cave of Wonders where she was born, and he's like, "Let me show you my favorite movie, Doctor Strange." And he hits her soul out of her body into the pool, and that's where she sees visions of other times, and she sees her mother, who she thought hated her, was actually in Peru because she was looking.
So I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
So yeah, she goes to like the past, not to play shitty games that suck ass,
There you
but she was like next to her mother, next to that tree where that photograph was, and she was like the first line she said, she's like, "Why do you hate me?"
Yeah, so I was wondering why she thinks that her mother hates her. No, I think it's fair to assume that like most foster kids who were like given up at birth,
Yeah.
think that like, oh, my parents hate me, but like her mother died in childbirth.
Well, because she knew she went to Peru the month before she was born, so she thinks that like.
She was being like selfish.
Well,
whatever.
she says during the
I suppose.
the baby shower, she's like, "Oh, my mother went to Peru a month before I was supposed to be born. No hospitals or anything. Don't know why she did that. So she thinks she didn't care so much about the pregnancy.
Yeah.
She was mad that she died because it was easily preventable.
All right.
Ashley, it's all a web.
It's all a web.
It's all
the possibilities, baby.
And
I just thought that line was just like jarring. Like I get why she's
Yeah.
like, "Why do you hate me?" But it's just like weird.
Is it a little kid? Why do you hate me?
And then like immediately that transition to like the mom being in that like doctor's office.
Yeah,
being like,
this movie has taught me that doctors don't know shit about nothing. That's what the moral of the story is.
So yeah, so I guess Dakota had some like illness, and there was life expectancy was short.
Yes,
and that's why she was in Peru to find a cure with the spider.
Right.
And then Dakota's like, "You do care," and they hug.
Yeah, and they hug somehow. And she comes back and she's like, "I can see the future now." And the dude's like, "All right, here's a." What, do you have the line?
Okay.
All right.
Well,
go on.
Can I just say that whole scene where she sees her mother and they hug, you know what that reminded me of?
What?
That one scene in The Flash.
I knew you were gonna say that at the end.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Devil's advocate. I thought that was the best scene in the Flash movie. Was him with his mom at the end.
Okay. My mind is starting to block out that movie. So
the rest of the movie's garbage. But like, I thought
I liked it.
I thought the emotional like.
Of course you did.
Threat through line of like him and his mom was the best part of the movie. I thought it was very sweet.
But it's very similar. It's funny.
Yeah, that is kind of fun. Then when you say it, I'm like, what a load.
What a load of malarkey.
And yeah, so Blake will say the line verbatim here, but Dude Bro, leader of the Spider Clan, gives some insightful words to her and says,
"When you take on the responsibility, great power will come."
What a load. That's so bad. It's so obviously it's the play on the where great power comes great responsibility.
I thought Ben was gonna say it.
Well, me too.
Yeah,
this is the subversion, but it also tells us that like at some point she tells Ben the same thing, and then that's how he gets the line. That's what they're inferring here, right? Like that's her. And I do not in any way want Peter Parker's entire ideology to come from Madam Web.
She's the Spider-Woman lady.
Don't you know, Colby? It's all a web, all right?
No!
It's all connected.
Shit. And so she gets back from Peru in like 3 hours.
Did we say that she gave the kids to Ben?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben was babysitting.
Right.
Ben was like, "I'll take her to Mary's house."
Yeah.
That'll be safe. I'll go back to the city where you just took them from.
Sounds
Anyway.
good.
Yeah, sounds smart. And so yeah, they sorry,
Mary's having the baby.
Mary had the baby, and they're like, "Oh no, we gotta take her to a hospital, but we'll get caught." And pull your hood up, and Ben starts driving the gang to a hospital, and yeah, the timetable is so weird for this part of the movie because Cass comes back and is at the house. How long's the flight to Peru?
From New York?
From New York, like
in 2003.
like crazy, crazy.
Yeah. At least it's got to be like 5-6 hours, I would think. At least.
Yeah, but they play it like she was gone for like 6 hours. It's like I left when it was light out, and I'm back when it's dark.
Yeah.
You know, and
it says if you want to go to Lima. Peru. 8 hours.
Come on, Mike.
8 hours.
Yeah, from New York.
Great. So anyway, because they run out, some cameras catch them, and so Spider Person tracks them down. But Cassie's way ahead of them and steals another car, an ambulance this time. Again, no repercussions. And drives through a wall. to save.
That was insane. Like, she just drives through the fucking wall of his garage.
She basically drives through this like sign and wall to like at last minute go for the save.
It crashes into Ezekiel in the air.
He jumps up into the crash.
Yeah. If he stayed where he was, she would have missed.
She would have missed it. He would have killed the people and like.
Oops!
Would have killed herself.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. But she grabs the girls and tells Ben to go on. Thank God, Dude Bro wasn't smart and did like the villain thing, which is grab Ben by the throat and then say, "Hey, give me the girls or I kill this dude."
I know.
Like, he just lets him go.
You damn kids.
She even says it. She's like, take Mary to the hospital. He won't care about you now.
Yeah. All right. I trust you. And Ezekiel's like right there. You can probably hear him. Yeah. So, I guess I don't care about him now. She's right. She can see the future.
Ay.
Oy vey.
And she drives under underpass thing, whatever. And they have this like weird scene where like this chase is going on, and he's hopping from car to car until they get to him, and then she's like, "Charge up the defibrillator." And I'm like, okay. And she's like, "Put it on the ceiling now!" And as soon as he jumps on the vehicle, like the electrical charge is enough to cause him to just fly off.
He's like, "Ow!"
Which, like, I don't know. Is that true? The defibrillator is like can cause that much damage through a car?
I mean, it has a lot.
I guess so.
I don't know if it can do that.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
Maybe they supercharged it.
But they're just trying to show off that she like can see the future now.
Yeah.
And, like, she has control over her power. And they go on the other pass, and the car breaks. The ambulance breaks down.
Yeah.
She's like, "We're coincidentally right next to the docks that I was at before that has fireworks that I know of." And she gets a bunch of road flares.
Good impression.
Flares. Thank you. And they go into the warehouse, and she's like, "Take these road flares, put them everywhere. Fuck it." And they're like, "Okay, just listen to everything I fucking say." And they do.
How did they not go off when they placed them?
Because she knows the future.
The flares and the fireworks.
They started going off.
They started going off like minutes after.
But
when Ezekiel comes, then they immediately went off.
Also, like, again, I don't know when this takes place because that place was like perfectly fine. Wasn't there a giant fire and explosion the night before? Well, I don't know. She went to Peru and back, so maybe it's been a week.
Yeah. Then so there was a fire at the fireworks place, and then I guess they put all the crap back.
They were like, "Well, it's done now. Should we put like sprinklers or anything, sir?" Nah, fuck it. Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. And everything starts exploding, and Dude Bro keeps trying to like jump on him, but she's always like, "Duck and do this and whatever." She's
getting control and hang of her powers now.
Yeah.
And so fireworks keep fucking this guy up, who at this point should just like give up. And she called like an emergency helicopter beforehand. They get to the roof. The helicopter explodes. Didn't see that one coming, did you, Madam Web?
Where did the helicopter come from?
She called it in.
She did? Okay.
From the thingy.
Before they left the ambulance, she was like...
I must have been sleeping. I'm sorry.
And they're on a Pepsi Cola sign that's like breaking down. This is where the finale of the movie is.
One of the many product placements in this movie.
Yeah. And
makes me sick.
She has like this like... She's like seeing all the bad things that could happen. She like grabs a piece of rubble and uses it as a shield.
And she's
like shrapnel. Yeah, somehow she just has the strength to block like incredibly fast moving object, whatever. Anyway, and
well, it's just a firework, bro.
I'm sorry, the shrapnel that went through all the
the things she was deflecting with like the shields.
Good thing they don't explode.
I know.
Or they're not like super fast. Headed at your face.
She could see it. Except the last time.
Talking about the strength.
Yeah,
okay.
Block it.
See, the weird thing is like, it isn't like she can see a future that doesn't like. It's like they never really show us at some point that she sees a vision and it doesn't happen. Because what happens now is she follows all the rules that she's done. And then a firework blows up the helicopter, negating her vision.
See, you say that,
Yeah.
but the pigeon thing, she proved that she can change the future.
So you think
The
that...
pigeon went through the window, and then she opened the window, the pigeon went through.
But she saw the helicopter getting on it way beforehand, and she was working towards that future. So do you think that, like, she was just getting new visions and she was going to that? And
I think
then
so.
that fucked it up, maybe? I think it's unclear.
I think that there's not just one line of dominoes. I think there's like many.
Yeah, but they never showed us that before. Like,
They wanted more drama
whenever it
for the
showed her
finale.
showing a vision, that was the definitive thing we would see. Him dying. The pigeon.
I mean, he
Well, I guess
didn't.
the
He
pigeon
didn't
should
die
change. Maybe
the
you're
way
right.
that he was seeing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I meant her paramedic friend. Griller.
Grill man.
Isn't
So
that kind
maybe
of
you're
like the point of her getting the hang of her abilities now? Is that she can kind of predict all of these alternate possibilities?
Yeah, so why'd the helicopter explode?
Fuck it.
I mean, those people are dead now, so, like, whatever. But anyway, neither here nor there. Through some wacky means, all three of the girls find themselves perilously perched over the fires of hell.
Hell.
And he's like, "You can't save all of them, Madam Webb."
I got like Dark Knight vibes, you know.
Oh, but he's like, "Which boat?" Or no, or save the girl. Or,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. And she's like, what did she say? He's like, yeah, you can't be at 3 places at once or whatever.
I'm Madam Webb.
Yeah, and then she splits up her realities.
She astral projected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I actually think is a really cool power.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
She's like tapping into her alternate timeline selves to save all, like manifest
Projection is
them.
cool. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was like
Yeah.
that's so sick. That's it. I would love to see like that from like the beginning, like that power, or like a realized hero with that power in a better movie to like do that. That'd be cool.
Clearly leaves her defenseless though.
Yeah,
She was
dude,
like,
yeah, it's so funny the way they counter. The dude just walks up and like gut punches her. She's like, "Oh wow, didn't see that one." And she's throughout this finale, she's having these visions of like one of the letters falling on the sign, the giant Pepsi Cola sign, and so she's like trying to buy time, and like, dude, bro, just doesn't like want to kill her right now, I guess. So he like walking the catwalk while everything's exploding, and he gets trapped under some rubble, and then the sign falls.
And then she gives that corny line. She's like, you've been trying to chase after these girls, to save your own future, but it only brought you to me or something like that, or it was really about me.
Yeah. No, one really funny line was when he was like, "You're just like your mother," and she's like, "I am."
yeah.
That's it. That was it.
I am.
And
No, she's like, "Yeah, I am." Line.
that's it. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but like the zoom in
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
yeah.
that-
Yes.
That was for the line you said.
Yeah.
That was the zoom
They
in.
did
But it
this
brought-
really weird zoom in.
It's from Kung Pao movie. Like it's just like she's like,
Interesting
"You brought you to
choice."
me." It did the funniest zoom in edit
Yeah.
ever, like from a YouTube video.
It was great.
Like a peanut butter gamer like moment. And so the sign falls and he dies, and then she falls into the water again, and just
Firework gets shot at her face.
yeah, just to add insult.
Didn't you see that, bitch?
Yeah, a firework is underwater. Anyway,
My eyes.
but Julia comes in and pulls her out of the
Olympic
water.
swimmer.
CPR.
Yeah.
CPR.
Yeah, that
The
plot thread
callback?
comes in. Yeah, the callback.
The plot thread.
These girls did, aside from that CPR, they contributed nothing
No. Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Insane.
I was like, so I was telling Blake on the way home, I was like, why the hell do we just not know how they get their powers? We don't see them in action or in suits, other than that stupid vision of his, of Ezekiel's.
They paid
was
to make those
nothing,
suits
yeah.
made, put them in those suits, put them all over the trailers and stuff, by
Yeah.
the way. Like, they're on the poster in their
Yeah.
suits and
I
everything.
was like, oh, they look kind of cool.
They never canonically wear those suits.
we just know nothing about them, and it's so dumb.
But they bring her back, and her eyes are all fucked up, and she's like, "Man, I'm Madam Web." And
What are you talking about, lady?
You've been in a coma this whole time.
If Dakota Johnson was fucking Professor X,
dude. Oh my god.
We're not there.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm sorry.
Not there
I'm
yet.
sorry. I can't hold it.
They're in the hospital. We get this hilarious scene where like the nurse comes in and she's like, "Are you all immediate family?" And she's like, "Yes, they
They're
are."
mine.
And then the nurse just walks out like, "I don't get fucking paid enough."
Right.
like lady, I don't think that's like legal. I don't know. I don't know. It's a hospital. I don't know. Anyway, so
It should be noted that the baby was successfully born.
yes.
But we do not learn its name.
What could the name be?
Baby pizza.
And so we get the little epilogue where Madam Webb's in her sanctum sanctorum at the window in her wheelchair that she doesn't really need. Let's be real. She's fully like she can move. I don't know. And the three girls come in with Chinese food and
but
they
the fact
banter.
that it's not even like, I don't know, an accurate automated wheelchair. It is like the Professor X wheelchair where she moves swiftly.
It's so stupid, man.
And she's wearing the dumbest looking glasses.
Oh yeah.
And like they didn't even try because it's just Dakota in a wheelchair with those glasses on. There's like, have you ever seen Madam Web like in the comics or in the cartoon or anything? Like, granted, she's like an older woman, which is whatever. But like, she's got the short white hair, or like, there's some other distinguishing features other than in the glasses in a wheelchair. That again, she does not need the wheelchair.
Later, they kind of showed her glasses, kind of.
Well, when they're in the suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will say,
that's true.
the glasses reminded me of this.
Put that on screen.
That's true.
And it's so funny because can you see our future? And she's like, yes. And she like spits out some stupid wax poetic bullshit. That's so cringe.
Yeah.
So cringe. And then you see them all in their suits.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. And then
They're all in their suits.
They're all in
Madam
their
Web
suits.
has her suit with her stupid 1960s glasses.
We got Spider-Woman, and Aranya.
and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the movie.
Bravissima!
Oh.
Bravissima!
Oh, arrivederci! Oh my
C'est
god.
parfait!
Oh, c'est magnifique.
C'est magnifique.
No ending
Super.
credits. No credits. Scenes.
No end credits.
No.
I'm crushed that there was no post credit. I was expecting like Morbius, Venom. Who's the hunter?
Craven.
Craven.
It hasn't happened yet.
I know, but no, that would have been the perfect
Yeah.
time. He's like, Madam Web. I don't hunt you. I don't know.
I haven't seen Morbius, but all I've seen is the
Me neither.
Morbius post-credit scene where fucking Vulture shows up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because fuck you.
Anything. I just would have loved anything from it. This is if there was something that was gonna blow your mind in this movie, it would have been in that moment, right? Like the audacity they would have to show anything would have been fun. But unfortunately, we did not get that. But thoughts on the movie, Madam Web?
For me, I think it's worth a second watch.
What the fuck?
I only rewatch movies just so I can have like a full established opinion. Okay.
Not even Love and Thunder got a second rewatch.
No.
That movie sucks ass. So
I know.
Have you seen Eternals?
No. A second time? No.
Yeah.
No.
But Madam Web.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving it kisses. Come on.
Magnifique.
Scorsese.
But no, it was interesting. That's what I said.
I think this movie was very
Campy and corny. For sure.
Campy movies are fun.
Okay.
This movie's like, I don't know, man. I really don't know how to like quantify this movie in like it's just its own thing. It's so bad. But like we expected that. We knew that going in. It had everything against it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't obviously perfect, and it wasn't even really good. Yeah. But I've definitely seen worse, especially coming out from Marvel recently. For me, it, as bad as it still was kind of entertaining in bits and pieces to me.
I was never bored.
Yeah.
I was never like,
that's true.
When's this
like,
fucking
I don't know,
movie
like
ending?
when I got out of the theater after seeing like Love and Thunder, Eternals, I was like, wow, that was terrible.
Yeah, like, expectations are weird for those movies.
Right.
You expect Love and Thunder to be really good.
Right, and that's probably why like we were so crushed as we were, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I sold this movie to you and like asking you to watch it by being like, look at this trailer. This is going to be the worst movie of all time.
Yes. I think in that way, a little disappointing though. I don't think it's the worst movie of all time.
I don't think so either.
But it's like top. It's up there. It's really up there as just bad movies.
Sure.
This movie was definitely a tax write-off. Like, I think so. Like this was not like. This is a tax write-off. I can't even like describe it as anything else. What Blake? What do you think?
Well, this movie felt like an escort mission, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, the kids didn't really do anything until the end.
Yeah, but she was barely there to escort them.
This is true. She went to Peru, you know?
I just can't believe she went to Peru and back.
Yeah.
The dude was just dressed in casual clothing, like American Eagle attire. What are you doing? Like you said, the Gap is right around the corner.
Listen, I don't want to say this movie was fun because the expectations were so low.
Yeah.
And
I agree
unfortunately,
with that,
this movie made me laugh more than all of like Thor 4's like jokes.
Yeah, I agree.
But they weren't jokes.
Right.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
And like we weren't laughing with the movie. We were laughing at the movie.
Unironically, we were laughing at it.
But I think I agree with Ashley. This is definitely like I would have to see this movie again. It's entertaining enough where I'd be like I'd watch not on my own. I'd feel alone and isolated and cold. I'd watch it with a friend.
You know what? That's a good point. I would love to put this on with friends.
Yeah. Just rag on it.
Just like you don't have to be like in a theater or whatever. Just crush it in the comfort of your home.
Like Ashley was telling us to shut the hell up during the movie.
I know.
I was kidding.
Blake and I were talking a lot in this movie.
There was no one in this theater. No one saw this movie.
Yeah, there were like 5 other people in the theater, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is this movie better or worse than the Eternals?
I enjoyed watching this movie more, but not for any good reason. For all bad reasons.
I agree. Okay.
I do not have the same like sickly feeling as or like disgusting feeling as I watched Eternals. So I would say it was better than that.
It's all about expectations. So with Eternals, you're like, all right, this could be interesting, new folks.
That was like
new
fresh
franchise, blah blah blah.
Phase 4 too.
But you saw one Madam Web trailer, you're like, this is gonna fucking suck. So you watch it, you're like, all right, I know this is gonna be not good, and you're like, all right, that wasn't good. All right, we win.
I'm not heartbroken.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I went in for a bad movie, and while it wasn't the worst thing ever,
did it deliver?
Mm-hmm.
I
got a bad movie.
Didn't MJ say that in Far From Home? Like have like little expectations or something like that, or
she said, she was talking about Madam Web.
Yeah.
She's like, Peter, there's not a movie coming out, Madam Web, don't watch it.
Like expect less and never get disappointed or something like that.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Zendaya.
Thank you. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's our spoiler review.
Yeah.
Of Madam Web.
Go watch it for yourself. Tell us what you think in the comments,
or
because
don't watch it because it doesn't matter. It's all a web.
It's all just a web.
It's all just a web. I didn't mean to cut you off.
My own bones.